This is metal chamfering machine by Metabo, and this video gonna be short review this particular machine. This is the biggest portable machine chamfering machine that Metabo makes, and I believe it can go as deep as 13 mil deep chamfer. So the width of the chamfer would be a lot more dramatic. As you can see, I'm chamfering a piece of aluminum flat bar, and this flat bar is about 3.2 meter long, maybe slightly more. The table itself is 2.5, so it kind of gives you an idea. But I will leave this at just at regular speed, how it was, to give you an idea how fast the machine chamfers the metal. What you need to, many of you will probably say that you can use woodworking tools to chamfer or cut aluminum, and you will be right. However, this machine also allows you to do pretty much same thing with the steel. It will cut the same chamfer with relatively similar speed as well. What I also got to say that I had a job that kind of specified and required a certain finish, so I had to buy this machine. And overall, I kind of like idea of not having a dust. I know many of you will think, oh man, you picked the wrong job if you don't like a dust. However, I do hate dust, and this machine seems to be one of the good solutions for it. In one of my previous videos about drill sharpening, I have asked the question, how many holes do you think I can drill with one 7 mil drill bit? And the answer is I don't know, but I managed to drill 2,700 holes, and then the job is completed, and drill bit was still usable after that. I did have to sharpen it about 6 times, but overall it's a really good investment into the skill set and into the drills. So this is the kind of finish you will get out of this Metabo chamfering machine, and you can see it's just a start-stop, and you can start off from this place very easily. I didn't realize, but when I was cutting this particular cut, the carbide bit was loose a little bit, so you can see the width of chamfer is really consistent. The machine itself, it can move the base and adjust the angle of chamfering, and also this knob on the top lowers down or rises the cutting head, which is located inside in there. Now arrow just points out a little bit forward, so it reminds you that you should only travel one direction. And also machine has these grooves, openings where you can fit the stabilizing roller, and you'll be able to chamfer pipes from 4-inch and onwards. It doesn't have any limit on the maximum size of pipe. Machine using compressed carbide tips. This serial number is for inox or stainless steel, and you can this one for aluminum. Obviously I choose the inox bits, they're a bit more expensive, but with them you can cut both stainless steel and carbon steel. A couple of books, little destruction papers, and a couple of spanners comes with the kit. So I'm taking this side plates. They're made into pieces so you can rise them up to allow a little gap underneath so the cuttings and swerve can come out. And obviously you need to make sure the tool is not powered, and you can take off the carbide tips. If you want to change the angle, what you'll need to do, you need to undo 2 screws on this side, and there is also 2 screws on the other side, so you need to make sure you remember about them. So once these 2 screws are done, the angle base slides really easily, and you can adjust pretty much to any angle you need. It doesn't have any ratchet mechanism, so it flows really smooth. There is a marker in there to indicate your degrees. Once you set your degrees, you can just look it up with the 4 bolts. Again, 2 bolts on this side, and don't forget about 2 bolts on the other side as well, and it holds it really firmly. The machine isn't too heavy and very easy to handle. Ergonomically it's very good. This handle in here, it has a little ratchet, and you can see underneath that on the Metabo sign it has a model number as well, so you know exactly what model machine this is. The light is glaring on this knob, and I'm just trying to move around in position so you can see scales and dials. But basically speaking, this knob on the top, you can see there are scales and dials, and you can adjust it to to the very high degree, simply because you know, it's really well made for lowering down or rising up your cutting head within the base. Also, inside of the instruction papers you have a little chart that tells you at what angle and, you know, what depths you'll be cutting, but the manual advises you to cut more, to do more passes rather than cut heavy. And to me, in my experience, it works better this way as well, rather than overloading the tool and trying to cut too much all in one go. Now this is a support roller that used for chamfering on the pipes. I had a small job to do on the pipes as well, so I'll use this machine just to try it. And I have to say that the actual carbide bits are really expensive. However, I think I could actually use this machine. Yeah, you can see the pin has a chamfers on both ends, so you can actually fit into the groove. And once you fit into the groove, there is a scale that you can adjust it. So it starts from 4 inch, you can really see it underneath the guard, and then 6 inch or 150 mil and further on. So this is the first time I ever tried to chamfer on a pipe with this machine, and just had a little go, and it looks atrocious. I have to say that it's nothing to do with the machine, it's all to do with my inability to use it, simply because I never used this machine before. Once I had second go or third, it already felt much more comfortable. I knew what I needed to do. However, I still didn't have the biomechanics right on how to use the machine. And after 5 or 6 cuts, all of a sudden everything becomes a lot smoother and you are much more comfortable with it. So if you going to be using it on a regular basis, or if you have a job that you can justify buying this machine, because they are also relatively expensive, I think you'll be totally fine. Now, you don't need to push hard. The face you see is just my really good concentration phase. And but it cuts smooth and smooth as the butter, and the finish is quite good. What I didn't realize at this moment, that my roller, now you can see it's a bigger pipe, it's a 6-inch pipe, but my roller is still set to 4 inch. And once I came around, I realized I'm not cutting what I was expecting to cut. And then obviously the realization came that roller is too close. And as you can see, I just put very small chamfer. So by no long, I didn't have to lower the head or adjust head by any means. All I did is shift the roller to required size of a pipe, and instantly it started cutting everything what I wanted to cut. And that's pretty much the speed the machine cuts, and you see it in real time. And considering that there is no grinding dust and how long it takes to what I would consider a pretty good finish, I think if you have volume of work that you can justify this machine, probably not a worst buy, not a worst tool you can spend your money on. So you can see transition from previous cut to last cut, and that's pretty much the finish from the machine. Original tips that came with the machine lasted me for 24 meters of 13 mil deep chamfer. So these parts will make a little extension for exhaust and a little cover to stop rainwater coming in. While I'll be impersonating my favorite cartoon character, Kung Fu Panda, I'll give you a little update on what's going on with the channel. In my business, I had one of my customers going out of business, and in recent times they haven't paid their bill, and it doesn't look like they're gonna pay it. So I'm struggling. Had to work a lot of hours and lots of jobs to make sure that they're not gonna drag me behind themselves as well. And for that reason, I simply don't have much time to spend on making videos at the moment. But I think I'll be alright. I think I'll just scrape out of this. And yeah, once I manage to get a little bit better on my feet, I'll go back to producing videos a little bit more regularly. Thanks very much for watching, and see you sometime in the future.